Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so today we are going to cover a topic that I see this question asked a lot, but there's really no videos to source from on YouTube to show this. I do see this in a lot of videos. It's explained within the video, but it's usually a video about something else, and they just happen to quickly go over prepping their cup. But today we are going to prep cups. It's actually a very simple step, but a lot of people don't know the whole process, or they're doing it wrong, or they're using the wrong products and having problems with their cups. So this is what I've learned and what I've taken away that works really, really well and will give you the least amount of problems within your tumblers. Okay, so what we'll start with first is your basic Dollar Tree tumbler. This is the plastic tumbler that a lot of tumbler makers use for their practice cups and for kids cups, or for like a really inexpensive thing just to add to their store, but they make sure they label them and let people know that they are plastic. These are not double-walled stainless steel, so they won't hold ice. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take, if you want to tape this off and leave, if I do a kid's cup, I leave the bottom taped off. Because most likely if the kid drops it, it's going to land on the bottom or the top. So I think it's prettier when the top is decorated, so I go ahead and go for that. But I do tape off the bottom. So what you're gonna do is take off. I take almost too much tape. I want that extra bit of tape. So that's my electrical tape, and you just tape off the bottom. You don't have to tape off the bottom. But, and a lot of people don't. They leave the bottom and they glitter the entire cup. But if you do that, you got to make sure you're giving it to somebody who understands if they drop that cup, it's probably going to be ruined. Because when that corner or edge of that cup comes in contact with the ground, it's going to crack that epoxy. So see, I take the bottom off real quick. I'm not going to spray paint this cup today, but normally I would if I'm going to be doing a glitter color. If I'm doing a fabric, I will leave it. And as you can see, you can fabric these cups all the way to the top. This is a fabric cup that's been fabriced, and then I glittered with chunks, mild mini chunky glitter over the top to make this cup. So you can fabric right over the top of these. But this one I am going to leave. So what you would normally do if you're going to spray paint the cup, I take painter's tape and finish off the bottom. But if you're just glittering it, you don't need to do that, because you're not, I mean, if you're fabricing it, you don't need to do that, because you're only going to cover from here up, and you're not going to be spraying the spray paint. So you can cover the bottom with electrical tape or painter's tape to protect it from the paint. So there's that cup. So what you're going to do with this is then sand it down with your 220 grit sandpaper. This is from the dollar store in their hardware department, but you can also get it at your Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that. This is 220 grit, and you're going to just scuff the edges. The reason I tape off before I do this, sorry, the mic is probably picking up this noise and messing up my voice, but the reason I tape off first is so that if I accidentally go too far, I'm not scratching that plastic that's going to be visible. I'm only scratching the surface of this electrical tape, and that will keep it nice. And then when you sand, it creates a lot of this dust on and around the cup. So then what I do is I take a coffee filter. I use coffee filters instead of cotton balls because I don't want any of the little fibers of the cotton ball getting stuck to my cup or on my cup, because that will create dimples in my epoxy. I take the alcohol. Some people say you can't use alcohol. You absolutely can. Alcohol mixes with epoxy. That is a misnomer. People don't know that, but it does. I mean, we put alcohol drops of alcohol inks inside of our epoxy to color it. So alcohol does work. So that's how I get off the dust. And then to make sure, double check, I'm going to put that right there, I will wash it. And I take just regular dish soap. Go ahead and cover this. I take regular dish soap, I add a drop, I scrub it around. Normally I would be doing this in my sink, but I don't want to leave you guys, so we're just going to do it right here in this bucket of warm water I've got. And I just wash it all off, dip it, rinse it. Rinse it off in the water, grab the towel, dry it off. Now, people ask questions, how long do you have to leave it? How long do you have to leave it? That is all going to be personal preference. I generally clean mine, stick them in front of a heater, and let them sit for about an hour. That makes sure that all the moisture is off this cup and ready for the next step, because if there's any moisture even stuck down in this crack that leaks out, it will affect your epoxy and leave it smushy or not cure or repel. So there is that cup, and that is prepped. It's just a little bit of sanding, a little bit of washing, some tape off, and that is ready to, this one I will probably put fabric on over the top, make that a cup for one of my kiddos. Okay, so we are gonna, that's the lid for that one. So now we are gonna move on, and I'm gonna show you how to tape off and prep a cup that you are going to do with a glitter with an edge. The reason people leave the edges is because if this cup is dropped, most likely it's going to land on the bottom edge or the top edge. And if that is epoxied over, that will crack the epoxy, and then when water gets in there, it ruins the cup. And it cracks and dents and chips away the epoxy. So I prefer to, on most of my cups, not all, as you can see, some of them don't have it, but on most of my cups now, I am leaving a little at the bottom, a little at the top, and I am not epoxying that section. That way, if it is dropped, the cup stays intact, it has no issue with the epoxy, and it has a longer lifespan. How you're gonna get the perfect edge is by using a marker and some popsicle sticks and some electrical tape. This is just a non-permanent marker. You don't want to use permanent because you want to be able to wash away real easy. This is just out of my pack that I bought from the dollar store, and I taped it. I like a really thin edge. I don't like it to be a big part of the cup. I just want it to be a little something that's there that's almost invisible. And you're going to take this marker, you're going to set it down on the table. I use 2 popsicle sticks because I like it thin, but you can add 3, 4, whatever you want. And make it as wide as you want. You just hold it up and spin the cup. And this is just going to make a nice straight line that's even all the way around the cup. I do the top and the bottom. This is a very fast, easy way to get that line. And then you just take your tape. We'll go ahead and grab a piece here. Grab a piece. Again, I take too much because I want to be able to have a tail to quickly and easily grab. I leave the tail out and push it up. So that way I can easily grab it when it's on the turner and remove it. I don't have to fish for it or find it or try to peel it up or pick it off to get it. So I do this and I follow that line perfectly. I hook the tail up and I stick to the bottom. That way it's there quickly for me to grab and pull away once it's on the turner. Okay. Sorry, you guys, I'm really tall. I'm 6 feet tall, so I tried to get you guys closer to the table for this video so you could see what I'm doing, so I'm probably cut off on my head right now. But I am very, very tall, but I love doing these for you guys. So I'm gonna do this again. So the supplies, I'm kind of a neat worker, so I reorganize all my stuff as I go, so I can easily find stuff later on. And we're gonna do this here. Later on down the road, I'm going to do a video for you guys on how to edge fabric tumblers and get a really good edge on your fabric tumbler, and I got some tips and tricks for you on that one, so that'll be a video that's coming future. Okay, so here we go. This one is ready to go. It's got that super thin edge on it. This is ready for glittering, or it's ready for the next step. So the next step would be to take our sandpaper and just rough that up. Again, sorry, this is probably screeching right into the microphone. Like nails on a chalkboard for you guys. Sorry about that. I just have the microphone on to make sure you guys get good sound and hear my voice really well. You're probably also picking up my triplets in the background. They're eating dinner. But you can hear everything with this mic. It picks up every little noise. And they're in a completely different part of the house, but they make a lot of noise in there. Okay, so this is there. And again, we will grab our alcohol. I reuse a lot of my supplies. So there's nothing wrong with this one. I'll just reuse it. Alcohol it down. Just those little scuff marks on the cup make that paint and epoxy grab it really well. And if you're selling these for $45, $50, you want to make sure you're selling your customer a really quality product. All right, here we go. We're going to do the little bit of soap. Scrub it around. Make sure all the oils from my fingers and all the dust from the sanding is off. Rinse the cup really well. Again, normally I would be doing this at my sink. I have a work sink in my shop, but for this video I don't want to be hauling you around to the sink and videotaping, so we're just going to do it here. And that's clean. Then at this point I really try to avoid touching this with my bare hands. I put on cheap little gloves from the dollar store, not my good nitrite ones, just to handle it and prep it. And like I said, I'll set these in front of a dryer, let them sit, a heater, and let them sit for about an hour. Then I will spray them and get them on to the next process. This is just meant to be a quick video on the simple steps to prep your cup. I hope it helped. If you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more videos coming. And check out the drop-down menu, and I'll have some interesting, good information for you guys there. Have a great day.